Script. Stoicism's surprising take on future uncertainty. What if I told you that your greatest source of anxiety doesn't actually come from your present life, but from a place you've never been and may never reach? That place is the future. We live in an age obsessed with predicting, planning, and controlling tomorrow. Yet, paradoxically, the more we try to secure the future, the more anxious we become in the present. The ancient Stoics saw this thousands of years ago, and they offered a radical alternative, a way to face uncertainty without fear, to stop being slaves to what-ifs, and to reclaim peace in the here and now. So today, let's take a deep dive into Stoicism's surprising take on future uncertainty. Section 1. The modern paradox, our obsession with tomorrow. Think about how much of your day is consumed with tomorrow. Will my career succeed? Will I find love? Will my investments pay off? We scroll endlessly through news headlines, financial forecasts, and algorithm-driven feeds, all reminding us of the countless ways the future could unravel. Technology has amplified this obsession. Algorithms constantly push us updates. Markets might crash, politics may collapse, climate change could spiral. Even in personal life, social media compares us to others' perfect futures. Their engagements, promotions, travels. And what's the result? Despite living in the safest, most advanced era in history, we're riddled with future anxiety. Instead of living in the present, we're haunted by endless scenarios of what could happen. Seneca once warned, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Our imagination is hijacked, not to inspire us, but to torment us with futures that may never arrive. And here lies the paradox. The harder we cling to control tomorrow, the more miserable we make today. Section 2. Stoicism's radical reframing, the dichotomy of control. Now here's where Stoicism flips the script. The Stoics weren't blind to uncertainty. In fact, they lived in times of war, plagues, and unstable politics. Yet they developed a mental framework so powerful, it still resonates today. The dichotomy of control. At its core, this principle is simple. What is within our control? Our thoughts, our judgments, our actions. What is not? Everything else. External events, other people, and yes, the future itself. Epictetus wrote, "Some things are in our control and others are not." This isn't just philosophy, it's liberation. Imagine pouring your energy only into what you can truly govern and letting go of the rest. Think of it like steering a ship. You control the sails, the rudder, and how you respond to the wind. But you cannot control the storms. The Stoic sailor learns to master what he can, his skill, his focus, his courage, and accepts that the sea has its own laws. By adopting this dichotomy, peace emerges. Anxiety shrinks because your life is no longer chained to outcomes you can't dictate. Section 3. Embracing the unpredictable, tranquility in the unknown. But Stoicism doesn't stop at simply letting go. It goes further, teaching us to actually embrace uncertainty. Instead of fearing the unknown, Stoics trained their minds to prepare for any outcome. This wasn't pessimism, nor passive fatalism. It was resilience training. Marcus Aurelius put it beautifully. Do not hope that events will turn out the way you want. Welcome events in whichever way they happen. This is the path to peace. Imagine this mindset in practice. You lose your job. Instead of crumbling, you've already rehearsed the possibility and you pivot. A relationship ends. You grieve, but you're not shattered because you never assumed permanence. The market drops. Instead of panic, you adapt, knowing fortune was never guaranteed. This mental rehearsal builds what modern psychology calls cognitive flexibility, the ability to bend without breaking, to adapt without despair. Stoicism's surprising wisdom is this. The unknown isn't the enemy. Our resistance to it is. Section 4. Practical Stoic tools for navigating uncertainty. So how do we actually apply this? The Stoics left us with practical exercises that remain shockingly relevant. Let's explore 3. Premeditatio Malorum, the premeditation of evils. This exercise means imagining possible challenges before they occur. Not to catastrophize, but to prepare. Ask yourself, what if I fail? What if I lose? What if plans collapse? By rehearsing it mentally, the sting lessens if it ever arrives. Seneca explained it as preparing our minds for adversity. so that nothing ever feels like a complete shock. Amor Fati, the love of fate. This goes beyond acceptance. It's about embracing everything that happens as necessary. When challenges arise, the Stoic doesn't just endure them, he welcomes them. Marcus Aurelius said, "A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything thrown into it." Think about that. The Stoic turns obstacles into fuel. Instead of resenting setbacks, they use them to grow stronger. Mindfulness of the present moment. At its heart, Stoicism is deeply present-focused. While the world obsesses over what if, Stoicism asks, what is happening right now? Right now, can you breathe deeply? Can you focus on this task? Can you be grateful for this moment? Epictetus reminded his students, do not concern yourself with the future. That belongs to fortune. Concern yourself only with what is present. These three tools form a Stoic toolkit for modern uncertainty. Prepare mentally, embrace fate, and anchor in the present. Section 5. A future-proof mindset, living well today. Finally, the greatest Stoic lesson. This philosophy isn't about ignoring the future. It's about ensuring the future doesn't dominate your present. By practicing the dichotomy of control, rehearsing adversity and embracing fate, you create what I like to call a future-proof mindset. Think of it this way. You don't need to predict the exact storm that's coming. You need to build a ship strong enough to sail through any storm. And when you stop living in constant fear of what if, you suddenly reclaim the joy of what is. You begin to notice life happening now. Conversations, laughter, work, even silence. This is true freedom, to live fully in today while being unshaken by tomorrow. As Epictetus once said, when I see an anxious person, I ask myself, what do they want? If a person wasn't wanting something outside their control, why would they be stricken by anxiety? So here's the surprising Stoic take on future uncertainty. The future is not to be conquered. It is not to be feared. It is to be accepted. Our obsession with tomorrow breeds anxiety. But the Stoic path, focusing only on what we control, embracing the unknown and rooting ourselves in the present, gives us tranquility that no prediction or plan can offer. And maybe, just maybe, that's the wisdom we need most in this anxious age. Stop fearing tomorrow. Start living today.